what top tips would you give to people thinking about coming into job sharing?
I think how we've made the job share work throughout the whole thing is just it's communication. We talk to each other a lot and for a long time, you know, and we put in a lot of time into making it work. You know, we have our days off when you don't have to think about it, but we will spend quite a lot of time at the weekend both writing the handover. You know, for me, I work the back end of the week, so for me it's writing the handover, and then we spend a lot of time on the phone. If during the course of the week something comes up that we haven't talked about, then we will pick up the phone to each other and we make sure that we, you know, whilst you might not be immediately available if you're not in work because you're doing something, we'll always make ourselves available and get in touch as soon as we can.
Make sure we haven't got a text every, when I kind of probably every 3 or 4 hours make sure. But so we've slightly chosen to do it like that, and I know there are other job shares where they do the handover on a Monday morning. I mean, it is, I think for some people it's, you know, it works anyway for us.
And it might be the nature of the job that we have that I don't think, well, both for me, I've got young school-age children, so doing it on a Monday morning would be a bit of a nightmare for me, because I've got to get my kids out of the door and into school, and I don't want to be worrying about spending 2 hours on the phone with Polly, but also because of the nature of the job, you kind of need to get in the door.
Because something might happen at 9 o'clock on a Monday.
So for us, doing it at the weekend works. I think the main thing that you have to work on, and we do work hard on this and ask people to tell us if it happens, is that the message isn't different. So be it the steer they get from us, or the sort of sense of priorities, or, you know, the message must be the same. We might give it in a different way, but actually the substance shouldn't be different. And, you know, sometimes the message will evolve, but that happens in your own individual head, or your own sort of the passage of time. That just does happen. But we work really hard to make sure that we're not sending conflicting signals to people, because I think that is very hard for them, and we don't want that to happen.
Take the responsibility for, in order to get a job share job, take the initiative and take the responsibility. Think about it from the person who's hiring you, and you just need to tell them a story about why the job share is going to be better for them. And I think you can make a really good story, but I wouldn't worry too much about has there been a job share here before, what's the policy towards job shares. I just do it in a go and sell it to the person who's hiring in an informal way first, see whether they're open to it. And I think most people, if you explain it to them in a way that they can understand the benefits for them and why it's going to work, and then they'll be reasonable about it. And then I think the second thing is choosing the person, and I think it's about choosing somebody who isn't exactly like you, but who has the same overall level of needing to be involved, and level of control, and level of being driven by kind of broadly the same thing. So Ruth was saying we're both quite results driven, and I think that's really important. I think you have to just decide, I'm going to trust this person, because if you don't, it's not going to work. And so you almost have to, it's a bit like, I don't know, jumping into a swimming pool, and you hope it's full of water, and if it's not, but if it's going to be a disaster, you kind of need to know fast.